Hello students, this is Veena, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Today we are going to learn about the usage of idioms in English language. What is the role and what is the essence which are created by these idioms? How is that these idioms are going to make our English language look beautiful and also effective? What is the role and how is these idioms since ages are helping in betterment of our communication? How is that idioms are playing vital role in making English language learning possible, and also they are making the English language communication effective. We will try to learn the advantages and the possible usage of these idioms in this video. Let us get started. Here, what is an idiom? It is an expression or phrase whose meaning does not relate it to the literal meaning of its words. An idiom is a phrase or expression, that is the mood of that particular element whose meaning does not relate it to the literal meaning of its word. The literal meaning of the words could be different, but the meaning of that particular phrase used at that instant could be differed. So, these idioms are the expressions added to the conversations. These idioms are the expressions which beautify the language in terms of the sentence formations. Now, in other words, idioms means something different than the individual words. What we usually speak, the general language, that is different. But idioms constitute a special language, special way of expressing the expression of that particular time. So, idioms play vital role in beautifying and in indicating the gesture of expression to that particular situation with its usage. So, those are called the idioms. Students often confuse idioms with proverbs. We have proverbs and we tend to have the misunderstanding that idioms and proverbs are alike. But they are different. They are completely different. They do not have any match with each other. However, these two are different things. Now, let us understand what are proverbs now. Proverbs are well known for stating a piece of advice. A piece of advice which was stated before by some eminent people is called a proverb. A statement which is catering the need of advice can be a proverb. But what is an idiom? It is an expression or thought of that mood to beautify the sentence in an other way, in a different way, not in a general way. For example, for a proverb, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A picture is worth 1,000 words. That is, a write-up with 1,000 words is maybe not equal to a picture. Maybe sometimes a picture renders the meaning more than 1,000 words. Of course, it is a message. Of course, sometimes the oral communication could not render your expression, but your body expression, the way you give an eye contact will beautify and make the message more rendered and informational. So, that is what the meaning of this proverb. So, proverbs are the messages or the advices which cater the need of your situation at that particular time. Then, let us consider the idiom. Now, let us try to understand what is an idiom. Bite off more than you can chew. Bite off more than you can chew. Here, if we go about the general meaning, the literal meaning of this sentence, what does that mean? Bite off more than you can chew. More than you can chew, you are biting it off. isn't it? But what you meant is you're trying to do something that is too hard for you. The meaning of this idiom is this, but when it comes to literal meaning, it portrays the other. Here, why is that we are using this statement like this? To show or to portray that someone is working more harder than what is needed. Chewing is enough, but you are biting it. That is, you are doing the work much more what is needed. In this way, we are using the idiom here. That is the difference between the proverb and a idiom. Idioms beautify and render the expression in different way, in different format, and that will make your communication unique and different from others. Here, as idioms do not always make literal sense, students should be familiar with their meaning and how to use them. So, while using idioms, we must be very, very careful, because sometimes these idioms do not cater the literal meaning. They cater the other meaning, different meaning from the literal meaning. So, you must be able to know the right meaning of the idiom and the right usage of it in right situation accurately. This may appear to be a lot of work, but idioms are fun. Of course, it is a tedious job to come over, to explore over the idioms and try to put them in the way of your communication. But once you are practicing the usage of these idioms, it will be a lot of fun. You will be having fun with the language. You will be enjoying the language. You will be communicating in the way of good expressive language with the usage of these idioms. It is often called a manner of speaking that sounds more native. So, it's really useful to master some of these expressions. So, the usage of idioms make others feel you are their native. That is, idioms make others to own you in the way of expression. So, these will surely make your language look polished and also mature. They will help you in making your communication better in a very different way and take you to the different level. Now, let us try to see some idioms and understand them and their usage. Now, beat around the bush. Beat around the bush. What is the literal meaning? Just beating around the bush. What is there? But the meaning is to avoid talking about what is important. To avoid talking about what is important. This is the right meaning of this idiom. Next, get your act together. Get your act together. Get organized and do things effectively. Next, hit the sack. Hit the sack. Go to sleep. Next, your guess is as good as mine. I do not know. Your guess is as good as mine. The meaning of it is, I do not know. Good things come to those who wait. Good things come to those who wait. That is, to have patience. Wait until you get good things. That means have some patience. Next, back against the wall. Back against the wall. What could be the literal meaning of this? Just lie back towards the wall. But actually, the meaning of this idiom is stuck in difficult circumstance with no escape. That is unable to escape from that situation. See, the difference of the literal meaning of the words and the actual meaning of these idioms. You should know how appropriately, where, how, when to use these idioms such that it caters the needs of making your communication more effective and also outstanding. Now, up in arms. Up in arms. Being grumpy or anger about something. Then, escape the barrel. Escape the barrel. Making the most of the worst situations or things because you can't do anything about it. Next, burn your boats or bridges. Just think about the literal meaning. Are you really going to burn your boats and bridges? No. What is that here we are going to render with the usage of this idiom? We want to say that doing something that make it impossible to go back to the original state. So don't do something which is impossible. Try to make it and go back in a right way. Next, break fresh or new ground. Doing something that has never been done before. Next, sell like hot cakes. Sell like hot cakes. That is quick sellout. That is rendering the meaning of quick sellout. Next. Now check out some idioms with examples and their meanings. Till now we have seen only some idioms and their meanings. But we don't really know at what point of time, at what situation we are going to use them. Now let us try to understand some idioms with their meanings and example of the situations where we are going to use them. First one. In for a penny, in for a pound. In for a penny, in for a pound. How is that we are going to use and what is the meaning of it? The meaning is that someone is intentionally investing his time or money for a particular project or task. Now, how can we use this idiom? Example, when athlete was booming, Jim was in for a penny and in for a pound. That how much dedicated he was. Here, to render how he is intentionally investing on making something better is rendered through the usage of this idiom. Next, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. What is the meaning of it? An opportunity in hand currently is better than a prospect in the future because time never repeats itself. That is, if you're having an opportunity in your hand, don't wait for some more opportunities. Try to utilize that opportunity because time is very precious. Now, how is it we are going to use in the way of the sentence? Example, the detective apprehended 3 criminals and saw other one running, but didn't chase him because she knew a bird in one hand is better than 2 in the bush. Instead of chasing other people, he has already one culprit in the hand. He thinks that it is better to have one instead of going for the 2. So, in this way, we are going to use the idioms. Next, chip of the old block. Chip of the old block. Now, what is the meaning of it? That a person is similar in behavior or actions like his parents. Example, when grandmother saw her grandson collecting coins like her son used to do, she knew he was a chip of the old block. Chip of the old block. That means he is a replica of his father, isn't it? Next, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Meaning is, treat people the same way you want to be treated. Treat people the same way you want to be treated. If you want to be treated nicely, you have to treat the other people also nicely. Same thing. Now, example. I felt Peter was a little cold today towards that homeless man. He should do unto others. He would have them to do unto him, because who knows about time? That means he must help that man such that if he gets such time, he will be helped by other people. Now, some more. Don't cry over spilt milk. Don't cry over spilt milk. If we take over the literal meaning, that means you are spilling the milk and you are crying it. The meaning it is literally rendered. But what is the meaning here? Don't cry over what has happened as it cannot be fixed. The meaning, the idiomatic meaning is, now example is, Walter failed his examination, but his dad came and said just one thing. Son, don't cry over spilt milk, because we are not going to do anything there. So don't cry over the spilt milk. Next, every cloud has a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining. Bad things one day eventually lead to good things. The meaning is, the idiomatic meaning here. Example, see, yesterday you were so morose as your phone was stolen. But look at you today, you got a promotion. It is slightly said that every cloud has a silver lining. So, like this, we can use the appropriate meaning with the usage of the idioms into our sentences. Now, seventh one. Beside yourself with joy. Beside yourself with joy. The meaning is to be extremely happy. Now, let us see it with an example. I can see that you are beside yourself with joy on being selected for the job. Congratulations. Isn't it? Is it rightly placed or not? And it is giving a gesture of beautiful expression in the way of communication. So, the right usage of idioms will surely place you different among the group. They will make your language more effective and also outstanding. Now, fair and square. Fair and square. What is the meaning? Being direct and fair. Now, how is that we are going to use it? To tell you fair and square, I did everything that I was meant to do, but I still feel unfulfilled. See the way it is used in between the sentence to render his expression of mood. So, such that we are going to use them. Now, ninth one. Having an ace up the sleeve. Having an ace up the sleeve. The meaning is have an advantage that is currently being withheld for future process. How is that we are going to put forward in an example? Brain kept quiet at the board meeting, who knew he had an ace hidden up his sleeve the whole time. That is, some advantage is equipped with him. So, he has an ace hidden up his sleeve to reflect the gesture of hiding something very secretive. We are using this idiom here. Next, a black sheep. A black sheep. How is that? What is the meaning of a black sheep here? Being a disgrace for the family. And now the example could be, they don't talk about Olive anymore. Turns out he was the black sheep for the family. He married someone else while he was still arranged to his fiancée. So, like that, we are going to use the idioms with appropriate meaning. With the usage of appropriate meaning, the idioms beautify your language. They help you in making your language more expressive and also more beautiful. Now, English idiom. Some more, let us see here. The lights are on, but nobody's home. What does that mean? To describe a person who is not very smart. Next, when pigs fly. When pigs fly, something that you think will never happen. The meaning. Next, kick the bucket. Kick the bucket. A euphemistic meaning to die. Here, if you go with the literal meaning, it does not match. Will a pig fly? No. But here the meaning is that something will not happen. Will never happen. Next, as cool as a cucumber. As cool as a cucumber. Very calm or very calmly, especially when this is surprising. Next, blue in the face. Weakened or tired after trying many times. Storm in a teacup. A lot of unnecessary anger and worry about unimportant matter. Then, hold your horses. This is one of the idiom which we hear so frequently, isn't it? To tell one to stop and consider carefully their decision of opinion about something. Now see one more. Once in a blue moon, something that does not happen too often. Next, Call a spade to talk frankly. We can use, as students, you can use all these simple idioms such that your language will become more beautiful and also effective, and you will look different from others. That will surely enhance your ability of confidence and also develop your self-esteem in the process of the communication. So, try to be unique, try to be different, try to understand the different spades of English language. Don't just stick to the general communication, general introduction and general way of rendering the message. No, try to be different, try to utilize the beauty aspects of the English language communication. Idioms, phrases, clauses, put them in the way they have to be. Try to understand the rules and the regulations which will make your language beautiful. Because till the end of your day, till the end of your professional careers, and of course, in the way of making your professional growth more and more effective, and also to take it more far than others, this language of communication will help you in enhancing the ability of your better and effective communication. Next, flesh and blood. What does that mean? Referring to someone in family or human nature. Now, idioms and their meanings are phrases that have a greater meaning than their constituting part may suggest. That is, with the literal meaning, apart from the literal meaning, they reinforce greater meaning to the content what it is addressed. All these idioms will surely have their good expressive meaning to it. When you are using them, they will very positively reflect your expression towards other person and render that ownness, that nativeness towards others. So, these idioms are the expressions of the language which will help you sort the misunderstandings as well as make you owned by the people. Moreover, it is a figure of speech or a phrase used to express a particular sentiment. The thoughts, the beliefs, the expressions, the moods, all these can be conveyed in the way of your usage of the idioms. Various idioms with examples suggest that these belong to specific language, group or region. So, some idioms specifically belong to a group or some region or to constraint. But still, we are overallly in the global market, in the global level, international level, using the English language. So, we are trying to add our nativeness to the English language in beautify and become more expressive in terms of rendering the message to the other people. Learning idioms with examples and their meaning is the best way to master them and make your writing more engaging. To practice idioms with examples of your own, try to practice these idioms with your examples. Try to put forth with all the expression and thoughts and beliefs which you can cater. So, try to understand the usage, try to understand the expression, try to make it more vibrant and outstanding while you are communicating it to the others. Yes. Once in a blue moon. That means something that does not happen so often. We call, if we are unable to meet someone, or we are very closer to a person and is living somewhere else and we are unable to contact that person, we use that. We are able to communicate in the way of the expression with the feeling of our thought. What I am trying to express to that person is, I am unable to see you since much time. So, here I am trying to add the expression here with the usage of this particular idiom. Next, call a spade a spade. Call a spade a spade. That is, talk frankly. To talk frankly. Whatever your intentions, whatever your thoughts, whatever your expressions are to be explored or to be expressed, you have to freely able to communicate with others. So, indirectly, I'm asking you to talk whatever is necessary and whatever you're feeling like talking to others. Isn't it? You're not going to change the aspect or change the perspective or add a mask. Portray your own personality. Portray yourself in terms of rendering the message. How capable you are. How your personality and attitude is to be rendered in front of others. Don't copy someone or don't try to imitate someone. Isn't it? With this small gesture of idiom, that is, spade as spade. Yes, call a spade. That is, be frank enough in the way of making others understanding your perception. So, in that way, idioms help you in making and giving the suggestion too, whenever it is needed, on a very positive note. So, idioms help in catering the positivity. They create that positive environment around you in the way of expressing your thought to the other person. Now, flesh and blood. Flesh and blood. If you see this, what is there? According to the literal meaning, flesh and blood. That means meat and blood. What is the meaning here? What is that it is referring? That it is referring to someone in human or human nature. Someone in family or human nature. That is, that one person who belongs to you, whom you are owning. A person from your family or a person from the human nature. Isn't it? That one person who belongs to our category. See, the simple word flesh and blood could give this expression. Of course, it is rendering that expression in the way of owning our own people around us when it comes to our own family or some other people. So, such that try to understand, try to use it aptly and understand the relevance of the usage. You cannot just use an idiom anywhere. You cannot just make the sentence misunderstanding, create the misunderstanding with wrong usage of the idioms. Of course, they beautify. Of course, they will help you in expressing it more and more better and effective. But before that, we must have good practice over it. We should try to understand how relevant am I using it, how aptly or how good I'm using these idioms in the way of making my communication much better and also far better. Here, now try to understand idioms and their meanings are phrases that have greater meaning. Now, what are phrases? Phrases which have a subject, which have their sense, but it is not a complete sentence. Of course, the phrases and the idioms and the clauses constitute the structure or the unit of a sentence. But how these units are going to be meaningful in the way of our communication must be understandable. You should be able to use these idioms appropriately. When you are using the idioms as a unit of the structure of the sentences, see that it constitutes the meaning effectively and also it is not moving the borderline or going out of the box, which may not disturb the meaning of that particular sentence. Idioms are constituting the a part. They may suggest something. They may advise something. They may put forward an expression of belongingness and the nativeness to the other people around you. So, try to use them accordingly as a part of unit of the sentence structure and suggest the meaning, suggest the advice, suggest the expression, whatever it is needed and constituting to fetching the meaning to that particular sentence. Moreover, it is a figure of speech. What are the figures of speech? Similes, metaphors, apostrophes. In the poems, isn't it? When we read poems, we come across similes, we come across metaphors. What do they do to the poem? They try to express and beautify the meaning of the poem. Even the idioms play the role of figures of speech. They are used to express the particular statement. For example, if you see that he is like a lion, what is it? What is the sentence? It is a metaphor. When I say he is like a lion, it is a simile. See the difference of expression I am using in the way of explaining the character of that person. If I am saying he is like, then it is a simile. If I am just saying that he is a lion, it is a metaphor. The figure of speech. Even these idioms play the role of the figures of speech, which are intuitively inbuilt to cater the need and thought of expression for the usage of the effective communication and also henceforth reinforce the meaning in the way it has to be rendered and gives that beauty with difference of impact on the others. It also creates that positivity and also projects the gesture of knowing the language acquisition with confidence and enthusiasm. Now, various idioms with examples suggest that these belong to specific language, group and regions. We are equipped in a multilingual society. As we are in India, we come across people from different regions, different cultures, different languages and different expression of thoughts. How is that we are going to bring forth that belongingness among each other? When we are working on a professional platform, how is that we are going to mingle and own people from different regions? You can use these expressions of idioms to own people, to understand people, to add that nativeness in terms of making your communication better and also to develop that good rapport among your colleagues. So, it is very, very helpful in making and building your relationships and bringing that commonness or nativeness among different cultures, groups and regions. Learning idioms with examples and their meaning is the best way to master them and make your writing more engaging. If you want to be a writer, if you want to cater the needs of society, if you want to be an editor or any person who want to make your life or professional growth in terms of research, your language can be beautified with the usage of these idioms. You can have that command over the expression, you can have the command over your thoughts and put forward on the paper with the examples. So, it is very, very essential to practice these idioms with examples and know the relevant meaning which is rightly applicable to that particular situation and time. So, try to understand, practice and build your communication according to the situation and time, and rightly develop your communication skills such that your professional career becomes effective and also very outstanding. So try to use idioms, try to understand the essence, try to practice them with examples, and also use them in the way of your communication to look outstanding and also unique among the group. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.